Hello, everybody. This is Carl, and I just want to say thank you to everybody who is participating in the book launch and helping me out with that. I certainly appreciate it. And I'm here to answer any questions that you might have. Whoops. I do have to say, I'm having a little problem with GoToWebinar today. When I maximize the PowerPoint, it shows my control panel, and I don't know why that is. So I'll get it fixed for my class. It starts next Tuesday. Anyway, several people signed up for this webinar, and I'm not really going to present a lot here. I really just want to answer your questions. If you have a microphone and you would like to be unmuted, I'd be happy to do that. Otherwise, just type the question into the questions section, and I'd be happy to answer that. For those of you who are new to me, in case there's anybody new to me, I write a blog at smallbizthoughts.com, and I would love to connect with people on all the social media, so please go ahead and look it up. I did put together a 15-minute webinar where I went through all of the 5 options in the book launch and talked about each of the options and why you might choose each of them. So that is on my blog at blog.smallbizthoughts.com. And so once you find that, if you don't get questions answered here, you can always look there and see if they're answered in that. This is kind of a summary of the offer. So the site that I had Ruben put up just for this launch is MSIAM3, which is Managed Services in a Month 3.com. So the option number 1 is literally just the books for $59.99. Option 2 would be to add the class, which normally sells for $259, to that book order. That class starts in January. It's actually offered twice next year, and I'm going to be repeating that class at 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. So pretty much you'll be able to have lots of opportunities to participate in that class if you choose to. And since the class sells for $259, adding both books for another 99 cents seems like a really good deal. Option 3 is to simply add the other class, which is the service agreements, a brand new class I've never offered before, which is service agreements for SMB consultants applying the book. So both of those are basically 5-week online classes focused entirely on the contents of those books. The goal is, in one case, to help you to retool your managed service business and completely, put together the right package at the right price for you, and to leave the class with an operating, a new service offering in managed services. So even if you're already doing managed services, this is a way to sort of tune up and go through some of the stuff in the book, weed out your clients and make sure you get the right clients, the right pricing and all that. And the second class is literally you should leave that class with a great contract that you like and that you feel good with and that really represents what you need your business to be doing. Option 4 is if you haven't already purchased the 4-volume set of Managed Services Operations Manual. That's about 1,100 pages, and it's a really great resource for standard operating procedures for managed service providers. And if for whatever reason you haven't had a chance to buy that yet, you can buy it on Amazon for all 4 books for $320. You can buy it at SMB Books for $280. Or you can buy it in this offer. You would just add another $200. So that is literally the best deal you're ever going to find on that set of books. And then finally, option 5 is to add to that the class on core standard operating procedures. Again, those classes each sell for $259, so it only adds $200 to the cost of the option here. So it's a truly great deal. And then I'm going to just sort of help you round out your bookshelf with Relax, Focus, Succeed, the project management book, and the network documentation workbook. Somebody sent me a note this morning asking whether that network documentation workbook is still valid after all these years, and basically what I told him was everything that's in that book is good. Now, it doesn't cover BDRs, and it doesn't cover a lot of wireless technology, and it doesn't cover cloud services, and it doesn't cover a lot of the newer stuff. But everything that's in there in terms of servers, workstations, networks, and so forth, the forms that are in there are good. It's just a little out of date. I tried to take that one out of print about 5 years ago, and I literally get an email asking for it once a month, and so I made it an ebook only, but acknowledging that it needs newer forms, but everything that's in there is valid. So, alrighty, so I want to make sure yeah, there we go. All right, so Ken says, have I considered adding another books-only bundle that would include both the paperback and ebook versions of both books? I'm probably going to do that after the general release in December. Here, I have to sell them separately just because the paperbacks cost, they cost me money to print and ship and so forth. So, and I charge a flat fee for shipping, so we actually, I think we lose money on shipping no matter what we do. So, but anyway, does the service agreement revised book have copies of the service agreements? Oh yeah, absolutely. In fact, one of the things that's revised about the new service agreement book is I basically give the latest and greatest version of my service agreement. So my service agreement, some of the things that have changed since the original book was published, one is I just started having a 4-month minimum. So if you put a machine on managed services, there is a 4-month minimum, simply because if you think about it, if clients are smart, they're going to sign up for managed services for 1 month. You're going to install all the patches, fixes, and updates, tune up every machine, and they're going to be ready to go, and then they will cancel, and they don't need you again for another year, right? I mean, if you could buy 1 month a year and just use up all of your labor, that would be great. So what we do is basically have a 4-month minimum for every device, and that way I know that I'm not going to lose money, because there will be a fair amount of labor month 1, a little less month 2, and almost nothing in months 3 and 4. But I'll get enough money to make sure that I don't lose money on that contract. So even if somebody's an existing client, if they add 1 machine to managed services, it must stay on managed services for at least 4 months. So that's new in the contract. Another one is that we don't sell partial months. So at least for my business, I don't want to sell partial months because I don't want to have this prorated blah, blah, blah. And some of the PSAs, in fact, I think both of the major PSAs automatically prorate that first month, and I don't want to do that. A month is a month, so what I will do is I'll be very flexible about the setup fees. So the setup fee can go up and down, and in general, I want my setup fee to be equivalent to about the first month's managed services. But what I'll do is I'll say, we'll charge you only half a setup fee or something like that, and then managed services starts on the first of the month. It also means you can't give me a 30-day notice on the 28th of the month and expect that you're going to be out, on the 28th of the next month. You will pay for the entire next month, whether you do it on the 2nd or the 10th or the 25th. So anyway, and then the other thing I did is that I put in some updates so that it makes it easier for you to plug in different offerings, and I cover the options of doing per user pricing versus per device pricing. Per device was kind of the only thing around way back when. So anyway, so there's lots of updates to the service agreements. It's there's a lot has changed in the last 12 years or so since that book was first put out. And so, and then in terms of the format, Ken, the format is that you get those in Word doc format so that you can edit them, put on your logo, do whatever you need to, delete sections, whatever. It makes it also easier for you to send to an attorney and have them you know, give their blessing that it's all consistent with the laws of your state, and you know, a good attorney is going to take that blank form and say, oh well, you need to make sure that you do this and this. An attorney will probably make some changes just so that they can justify their fee, but these forms have been looked at by an attorney in California. But if you don't live in California, and even if you do, I don't know what laws have changed in the last 20 minutes, you know. So anyway, thanks for the questions on that. Billy asks, so glad that's updated. Thank you, sir. Couple of questions. If we buy one of the bigger options, will we get the two old managed services and service agreements? I mean, yes. So if you buy one of the bigger options, just send me an email and say, I want the other ones now, and I'll go ahead and do that for you. Most people don't really need the old ones, but if you're in that much of a hurry, I really think the ebook versions of these will be out within probably, I would say, a week to 10 days. So even though I'm promising them in December, I will probably deliver them. If all goes well, the E versions will be delivered within a week. So, but if you want the old versions, just, you know, buy whatever package and then send me a note. And then the other thing is, if you just buy the books, you got to buy the ebooks and the physical books separately. If you buy any of the other bundles, I will give you both the ebooks and the physical books. So don't worry about that. So if you buy a bigger bundle, you will get the paperbacks as well as the ebooks. Second question, will the classes be recorded? Yes. So Mike, the classes over at greatlittleseminar.com are always recorded, and people who start taking our classes love them, and frequently sign up for the next and the next and the next. The thing that is almost unique, I think, about our classes is, first of all, we have massive handouts. Rayanne is just finishing a class, and I was posting up her material for distribution over the weekend, and literally there's so many handouts that it scrolls off the screen in my Dreamweaver. So, you know, there's just tons and tons of handouts. The second thing is that we're super interactive. So we make sure that you get all of your questions asked. If you don't get them asked during the class, then we set up office hours. So even though it's an online class, you can make an arrangement to talk to one of us by phone. And so no matter who's teaching the class, we're super available, tons and tons of handouts. And we, you know, sometimes we get a question that's so good that we actually address it in the next class. And then Billy, I need a little clarification. Will they ever expire? You mean the classes? So if you sign up for one of these classes, it's for the 2018 year. So the two new classes, so the managed services in a month class will be offered twice in 2018, and you can attend both at no additional charge. The SOP class will be offered once in 2018, and so, but they're all recorded, and you're certainly, you can download all of that material and you know, go through it again and again. Does option 2 provide both ebooks and hard copy? So yes, option 2 has both ebooks and the paperbacks. Will the classes have an X? Whoa, my screen is scrolling. Too many questions. Oh, so in terms of accessing the classes, so the classes are recorded in both MP4 and MP3. So you can just download those videos, download all the class materials, you know, store it on your hard drive. You can't sell it, you can't share it with other people, but you don't have to have access to our website to be able to use those materials. You can download all of the material, and usually I give people access for 3 or 4 months after the class is over. So your password is good, and until we sort of rev the classes. But I do encourage people to go ahead and download all that material so that you've got it. Let's see here if I can expand the question. I'm just playing with my screen a little bit. All right. Unfortunately, I can't make my questions easy to read, so 1 second here. So one of these is repeated. Okay. Let's see. You offer an option 2 that includes both books and managed shares of the book. Have you considered a similar option that would include both books and only the 5-week service agreements for those who attended? Oh, the problem with people who previously attended a class is, it's really hard for me to start taking the bundles apart. So. But send me an email personally, and we'll see if we can figure out something that makes sense. All right. Any other questions? Go ahead and put them in there, and if anybody wants to ask one live, raise your hand, and I can open your microphone if you want to do that. So. Any other questions? Because I'll stay until we're done here. A purchasing question, alrighty. Launch 5, okay. Our books, yeah, so yes, for options 2, 3, 4, 5, you get both the ebooks and the physical books. It's only in the first one where the price is just so, it's not that it's free, but it's so cheap that I really can't justify sending physical books to everybody who buys an ebook in option 1. But options 2, 3, 4, 5, absolutely, you get both editions of the book, of both books. Anyone else? I do appreciate everybody's participation in this. Laura will be busy for several days processing orders. Thank you, Billy. I certainly appreciate it. Eric says he ordered something in July. So if you ordered one of these books in July, anytime since July 1st, then you're going to get the updated version automatically. So if you bought it from us, you'll get it automatically. Now that's not true with the 4-volume set because there's no update to the 4-volume set. So Eric, what is the specific question? Because it sounds like you want to order one of these options, but you already have what's included in option 5, so you don't need option 5. But I'd be honored if you wanted to buy option 4. Let's see. Oh, 4 includes the 4-volume set. So yeah, so you don't need option 4, but you might want the class in 5. And again, send me an email about that if you're interested. Anyone else? All righty. Well, if there are no other questions, we'll go ahead and put an end to this. I would like to know if people say whether this is worth. I'm recording it just for fun, but is this worth posting or not? If you think it is, I'll go ahead and post it on my blog, and if not, that's okay too. I won't be offended in any way. Alrighty then. Well, if there are no other questions, then I'll go ahead and put an end to this. And thank you, Ken. Thank you, Billy, Eric, everybody. I think there's a dozen people on the call here, so I certainly appreciate that. Good point, Ken. So, alrighty. Well, that is pretty much it then. Thank you for tuning in. I encourage you to go ahead and check out the blog, check out that video that it does answer some questions, and remember, this will end Friday, so I 100% guarantee Friday at midnight it's automatically set to end. So one last question, Billy says. So yeah, if you want to get in on this, definitely do it by Friday, because I'm basically putting everything back to normal, and I'll have the new book postings and whatever on small or SMB books, and then those will be available at full price very shortly. And again, I acknowledge $20, $30 is not a ton of money, but everybody wants to save if they can. Let's see. I tried to buy a bundle a month or so ago, and it did not go through. Well, always email concierge@smallbizthoughts.com, or you can just email me or Laura N. Napolitano, and we will take care of it. But sometimes when things don't go through, it's because for whatever reason there was no payment, or sometimes we get an order, but we don't see anything on PayPal or Visa, and those things are supposed to happen automatically. So if you ever try to order something and there's an issue, just go to concierge@smallbizthoughts.com. All righty, other questions? Thank you, Farshid. Alrighty, I am going to go ahead and stop the recording, and then I will go ahead and post this up very shortly on my blog. And I look forward to seeing some of you in San Jose and Oakland this week at the Roadshow. And with luck, I'll see the rest of you in Las Vegas if you don't make the last Roadshows. Our last Roadshow, Cloud Roadshow of the year, we're putting it in Vegas so that everybody can get a cheap airfare to Vegas, and it's Friday, December 8th. So if I don't see you in the Bay Area this week, I hope to see you in Las Vegas. Thank you all. I really appreciate your support. Oh, okay, Juan, I will post that recording as quickly as I can. So, and thanks for tuning in all the way from Mexico. I hope that you were not affected by those earthquakes. Man, that's such a horrible thing. Anyway, I'm going to put an end to this. I'm going to post this up as soon as I can, and I thank you all for your support.